Okay, so let's start on the mat. We're going to be on all fours. Remember, getting down onto the floor, we get down safely. So remember, one knee at a time, and then take one hand. So when we're in all fours, we want to make sure we've got knees underneath hips and wrists underneath shoulders, and the spine is in a nice long line. We're going to start with our cat stretch. So I want you to think about this being getting as much movement into the back as possible. So you're going to tuck your tailbone under, and then you're going to scoop your belly button up towards the ceiling. You're going to round the back, not pushing too hard, just enough to open the back. Then you're going to drop the head and look between the knees. From there, you're going to tilt the pelvis forward, and then you're going to come back to that nice, lovely flat back. So we're just going from our cat stretch, scooping the abdominals to the ceiling, relaxing the head. And then we're lengthening the spine out, vertebra by vertebra, till the spine is nice and long. So we're just gently mobilizing through the spine. Now, we know cat stretch is a really safe place to be. We just need to be mindful that you're not pushing up into as hard a curve as possible. You're keeping it in a nice soft curve, and really the scoop of the abdominal, so that feeling like someone's punched you in the stomach, that's where we want that curve to come from. When we get that nice deep abdominal curve, we open up that lumbar spine and then lengthen out. And you're just going to give me one more here, guys. Articulating, think tailbone, belly button, round the back, drop the head, and then elongate that spine. Imagine the spine's 1 inch longer than when you started. From there, we're going to go into extension. So this time, you're going to stick your tailbone up. You're going to drop your belly button down, but you're going to lift your chest forward. So you're in that little cow pose. And then you're going to articulate and just come back to a nice flat back. So the tailbone goes up, belly button drops towards the floor. You look forward, and the chest, imagine trying to kind of shine your chest to the front of the room, and then come back to that nice flat back. And it is about trying, like we said, to imagine moving through each individual part of the spine, just so that we're nice and warm. You're going to give me 2 more here, ladies. Really, really nice. And it's good as well to be on those wrists, so we're gently loading those wrists too. Good. Finishing off your last one here. Beautiful. And then coming back to that nice flat back position. So from there, we're going to go into some nice arm floats. So keeping that spine in that lovely flat back, think of scooping the abdominals up. And I want you to float your right arm up towards the ceiling. And then I want you to pop your right arm down. And then very smoothly transition and lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. And I just want you to alternate from side to side. And the aim is that when we do that transition, so when you switch from your right to your left side, that we're not moving that core around. Our core is really solid, so our torso, our spine, and our arms are just floating up and down, and we're trying to reach them as far up as we can. So we're getting them into that nice deep extension. Good, nice, guys. You're going to give me 1 more on each side, just nice and gentle. Beautiful. Finishing off that last one on your left, you're then going to bring those hands down. So from there, we're going into legs. Now, I want you to keep your foot on the floor, and let me just get my fancy sock out so you can see where my where my leggings end and where my feet begin, okay? So I want you to keep your feet on the floor, and I just want you to slide your right leg along the mat, keeping the foot down, keeping the floor up, pushing the floor away, abdominals scooped up. And then you're going to pull that leg in and then change sides. And the same thing, we want this transition when you change from side to side to be really smooth. And the more control you have over that core, the smoother that transition is going to be. So if it feels a little bit wobbly to start, don't worry. We're pushing the floor away with those hands, so we've got that lovely wide back, and we're supporting our shoulders as we go. Good, ladies. Nice. Imagine you could balance your favorite beverage on that back. Good, it's not going to go anywhere. Lovely. Finishing off your last one here. So we're going to put it all together. And we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So let's start right arm and left leg. Now I want you to keep it on the floor to begin with. Slide the arm and leg along the floor and then pull the arm and leg back. And I just want you to do a couple, alternating side to side. Now the tendency with this exercise is for people to reach as far as they possibly can. And the problem with that is the further I reach, the more I'm stretching through that torso. And actually you want to think of pulling everything into your center. So the center is really solid. So as you lift that arm and leg, instead of thinking of reaching as far as you can, I want you to think of pulling your arm and your leg up into that hip socket. Because the further we reach away, the less support we have. If we keep everything in close and tight, the more we can control the body and the core. Now, if this is feeling easy peasy lemon squeezy and you want to lift the arm and leg off the mat, you feel confident enough to, then you can. Just being wary that when we lift that arm and leg, that we're not dropping that belly button down towards the mat, we're lifting. So we've got that lovely support. You're gonna give me a couple more. I'm gonna come and have a good look. Excellent, guys. Lovely, really, really nice. Good. You're going to give me one more on each side. Very nice, guys. Don't even have anything to say. Normally, you know, we love to nitpick Pilates teachers, but I don't even have anything to say. Beautifully done, guys. Once you have finished your last one here, you can very slowly sit back towards the heels, walk the hands forward, keep the bottom in the air and just stretch to loosen out that back. So just take 2-3 nice deep breaths here. So the spine stays long, bottom is in the air, just 3 deep breaths, just to relax and release. Really nice. So we started to warm up through the wrists, we've got the spine moving and we've started to wake up that core. So from there, we're going to make our way onto our back. Now remember, when you're coming onto your back, you want to lie onto your side and then roll on to your back, okay? If you want to support your head with a cushion, then you can. And you're going to have your knees hip width or your feet hip width apart, hands down by your side. So when we're in this position, we remember that our tailbone, our sacrum, should feel really heavy on the mat. Our lower back is soft, so all that means is you can just slide your fingertips and there's a little gap underneath that lower back. You can slide your fingertips underneath the ribs and they're touching the floor. And then the hands are down by your side. So first thing, just close your eyes and take a couple nice deep breaths in this position. So big inhale, fill the lungs, fill the belly, and then big exhale. Breathe everything out as slow as you can. So you take that nice deep breath in, ribs expand, and then big exhale. Try and squeeze all the air out, okay? So when we breathe, we want to keep the breath flowing all the time. So if any point you feel, oh, I don't know when to breathe, just remember to just keep it going, okay? We don't want to hold our breath. We want to keep this nice continuous flow. When we breathe, we want to breathe into the lungs. We want to breathe into the belly. And as you take that big exhale, naturally you're going to feel your waist narrow and the abdominals contract. So without having to think about switching on our abdominals, as soon as we take the exhale, it does the work for us, okay? So you're going to give me one more nice deep breath in here, filling everything up and then taking that big exhale, feeling the waist narrow and the abdominals contract. Beautiful. So from there, We're going to take that inhale, and then this time as you exhale, you're going to close that little gap between your back and the mat. So we've got that support from the abdominals. You're then going to float your right leg to tabletop position. You're going to pop your right leg down. You're going to lift your left leg to tabletop position. You're going to put your left leg down, and then you can relax the back. And we go again. Exhale. Gently connect the lower back and the mat. Right leg comes up and down. Left leg comes up and down and release. And I just want you to do a few of these on your own time. So we've been doing these over the last couple of weeks. And the main core, again, or what we're thinking about, is switching on that torso or keeping that torso stable. So when we close or gently press that lumbar spine into the mat, we get that little bit of switch on and we feel that extra bit of support. We don't want to be pushing our back into the mat so hard we feel tension in the neck. It's just enough to know that when we lift those legs in the air, that we're not putting any extra weight or any extra pressure or creating that big, like a bigger curve than was originally there. So you're going to finish your last ones here, and then we're going to add on. So this time you take that exhale, you close that gap between your back and your mat, you lift one leg to tabletop, you lift your second leg to tabletop, you put your first leg down, you put your second leg down. So we're just adding in, lifting both of the legs off the air, okay? At the whole time, the back stays connected to the mat. And if at any point you don't feel comfortable, you think, I don't like having both of my legs in the air, then remember you can always have one down on the mat. That's going to give you a little bit more support, okay? So we exhale, close the gap, one leg up at a time. Second leg comes to join it. First leg goes down, second leg goes down. Nice, ladies. Last set here. And I would like for you to finish with your legs in tabletop. If you don't feel comfortable with both legs, you can just pop one foot down on the mat. We're going to take our hands, we're going to place them onto the front of our thighs. You're just going to lift your elbows ever so slightly, and you'll feel that that widens your back, okay? You're going to take a big breath in, and then you're going to exhale. Push your hands into your thighs and your thighs into your hands, and you're going to feel all those muscles in your core wake up and then relax. And again, exhale, push hands into thighs, thighs into hands, pull the shoulder blades down the back and release. And you're going to give me 3 more like that. Big exhale. And release. 2 more. So we're feeling all of the muscles in the core. What is the core? It's abdominals, it's a back, it's pelvic floor, it's everything. So this is just that little wake up call. Last one here, big exhale. Push hands into thighs, thighs into hands, shoulder blades down the back, and then relax. Put one leg down at a time. And then just gently bring those feet and knees together. Okay, you're going to take your hands into a low V, and we're going to do a little hip roll. So it's important that you keep your shoulder blades connected to the mat, and you're just going to gently take both of your knees over to the right, pressing your left shoulder blade into the floor, and then exhale, coming back. We're going to do the same thing. Take the knees over to the left, pushing into the right shoulder blade, and then exhale, coming back. So the tendency with this exercise is to let the legs drop, okay? And that's not the point of the exercise. The point is that we want to control the legs using those abdominals. So I'm rocking onto the edge of my foot. I'm not taking my legs as far as I can go. If you're feeling that your shoulder blades are lifting off the mat, then you're going too far. You want to keep it really controlled. And we want to feel that work in our waist. So it's our obliques that are doing the work. And we're gently controlling the movement side to side. Good. I'm going to come up. a little look. Nice. Okay, really nice. I want you to stop it a little bit sooner. I want to look at those knees. Don't let those knees be different heights. Can you see? Aha, and then big exhale, come back. So as soon as you start to feel that connection, ladies, or lose the connection with your shoulder blades and the mat, that's when you want to pull yourself back. You're going to give me one more on each side. Good, Siobhan, for you, same thing. Pop those hands on the mat for me. Press those hands into the floor. That's it, good. So we use the support of those arms. Nice. Once you finish this last one here, we're going to come back to center. So we're going to do a little exercise to stabilize our pelvis, or learning to keep the pelvis as still as possible. I want you to just take your hands and just place them underneath the back of your hip, if that makes sense. So you've got your bony hip bone and just underneath that, okay? Now, when you do that, you should feel that both of the hips are kind of in contact with the floor, yeah? You're going to take your right knee and you're slowly going to open your right knee out to the side. Now, a lot of the time, as soon as you open that right knee, you're going to feel that left hip, the opposite hip is going to want to lift away. You're going to lose contact between that hand and the hip. The aim of the exercise is to keep the contact between the hands and the hips, so they stay on the mat, as you open the knee to the side. So you're going to alternate what knee you open, and the aim is that as soon as you feel that you lose that contact, you stop, yeah? So it's building up awareness of movement and stability in the pelvis. So obviously the more core control we have, the more you can open that knee to the side, yeah? But you'll feel straight away if you lose that connection. So you want to think of pushing your weight into those hands. It's nice, Sajal, but I can see those hips going for a little wiggle, so I want you to go slower. That's it, that's it. So we want to keep the pelvis really still and steady as those knees move. Good, ladies. Very nice. Good, you're going to give me one more on each side. Fantastic. So once you've finished that last one, on your left, we're going to bring those knees back to center. You're now going to take the hands onto the top of the hip bones, okay? From there, we're going to go into a leg slide. So keeping your foot in contact with the floor, you're going to slide your right leg away from you, okay? As far away from you as you can. When you've got that leg to the end, you're going to flex that foot. You're going to dig the heel in, and then you're going to pull the heel back towards your bottom, and then you can pop the foot flat on the floor. Other side, you're going to stretch your left leg away, sliding the sole of the foot along the floor. Stretch the leg out as far as you possibly can. You're going to flex the foot. You're going to dig that heel in and pull the leg back in. So the aim of this exercise is, yes, we've got this lovely lengthening of the leg, but again, it's controlling the core. So a lot of the time when you slide that leg away, that pelvis will want to tilt forward and you're going to get a big gap underneath that lower back in the mat, yeah? And I'll do an exaggerated example so you can see, right? That's what we'll want to happen. So our job is to try and keep that core switched on, keep that pelvis in that lovely neutral position or that natural position, and move the leg. So all the time, we've got that stability in the core, stability in the pelvis, and we're not changing that position off the mat. Good, ladies, so sliding those legs away, beautiful. And coming back. And if you're worried or if you think, oh, I don't know if I can feel it or not, you know, pop your hands underneath the back or the small of the back and see if that gap is getting bigger as you stretch that leg away. Good. Sometimes it's good to have feedback because they're not big, these aren't big, crazy movements, right? But what we're trying to do is bring as much awareness to that body. The more awareness we have, the more connection we have, and that applies to our day-to-day, you know? When we're not really thinking about life, but that mind-body connection, it translates. So you're going to give me one more on each side. Beautiful. And then you're going to pull that last one in, and then you can just gently hug those knees into the chest. From there, you can just give your legs a little circle. So you can either open the knees and circle the legs around, or you can keep the knees together and just create a little bit of a circle for that lower back. Good. Couple in each direction. Just as a little release, little massage for that tailbone as well. And then we're going to roll over and start to do a little bit of work onto our back. So we've done loads of work into the front of the core. Now we're going to work on that back body. So remember, rolling onto your side first, and then you're going to come and lie on your front. Now, if you need to have a little bit of extra support, you can place a cushion underneath the waist. That helps to support your lower back. Or you can pop a little cushion underneath the forehead for the neck. I've got my legs a nice comfortable distance apart. My elbows are bent and my forearms are on the mat. So eyes are going to be looking down. This keeps the neck in that lovely long line. You're going to press your pubic bone into the floor, and then you're going to float your chest off the mat, back of the neck long, and then relax and come down. So just gently lift the chest away from the floor and lower. And it's not a big lift, remember? It's just a gentle float and release. So I'm not pushing with my hands at all. I'm using my back muscles, so my upper back muscles, but also you're going to feel it through the lower back, okay? And that is okay, because once we lift up to a certain height, or when we lift up as far as our upper back will allow us, the lower back muscles will start to work. And that's a good thing, right? We want to build resilient backs. We want to build strong backs. So don't feel like, oh, I'm conscious of my back. Just feel confident that it's a good thing to work that back. So you're going to give me two more here, these nice float up of that chest. Good. Beautiful. Nice, ladies. Last one here. Good. Okay. So from there, we're going to change our arm position. And I want you to keep your elbows into your ribs, but I want you to open your hands out. So they kind of make a W shape like this. So if I was lying on the mat, that's how my hands would look. And then I want you to give me a thumbs up so that your thumbs are pointing up towards the ceiling. And I'll do it here so you can see. Now, we're going to keep our head in the same position, but this time we're going to lift our arms off the mat and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Yes. So my eyes are down, my neck is long, I lift my arms up, thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling, squeeze my shoulder blades together, and then relax. So making like a little W shape with our arms, we lift the arms and squeeze the shoulder blades together and release. And we're going to do 5 or 6 more of these. So the purpose of these exercises is we're going to gently mobilize the shoulder, and we want to get our mid back working. So all those muscles that run between the shoulder blades, super responsible for those posture. Good. Nice, guys. Give them a good squeeze. Squeeze them right into those ribs as much as you can. That's it. Nice. Carol, can you give me a thumbs up with your, that's it. Now squeeze, 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 squeeze. Good. So just by changing our palm or the position of our hand, it can affect that rotation in the shoulder blade. Good. And that's what we want to do with challenging it a bit. You're going to give me your last ones here. Excellent, ladies. And then relax and come down. Give those shoulders a little wiggle. So our next position we're going to take is you're going to take your hands out into like a YMCA position. Okay, so you're going to be lying on your front. You're going to stretch those arms out. Think of them touching the corners of your mat. And you're going to have your thumbs up. So in this kind of like starfish position. Same thing. Eyes are going to stay down. We're going to lift the arms up as high as we can and then lower them down. Lift the arms up as high as we can and lower them down. Now, if you can't get your arms that high, don't worry. The aim is that we want to try and work those shoulders as much as we can. And the tendency to happen is we tend to lose that mobility or that feeling of reaching the hands overhead because a lot of the time we're not using it, right? Particularly if we're staying in prolonged sitting, driving, working at a desk, all those things. Good. Nice, guys. You're going to give me 3 more here. I think reach those thumbs up towards the ceiling. Good. And down. Excellent. 2 more. Beautiful. You're going to give me your last one here. Good. And relax. Oh, bend your knees for me. You can make a little pillow for your forehead with your hands. Bend your knees. And you're just going to drop your feet from right to left, just very gently, just to release through the hips and through the pelvis. Good. The hardest part is done. We're going to finish with 5 beautiful push-ups. And then we can go about our Monday evening. So from there, you're going to come up onto an either all fours or a slight kneeling position. Okay. Now, if you're feeling strong and you feel confident with push-ups, I want you to be in a kneeling position. So you'll notice my knees are slightly behind my hips. If you don't feel super confident with push-ups, you're going to be in an all fours position. Okay. Now, when you do a push-up, you want to think of a triangle. So you've got your hands at the base of your triangle and your nose is the point. And that's important, particularly if you're on all fours, because you have to keep the weight forward. And a lot of the time when we do it on all fours, we have a tendency to want to push the weight back. Yeah. So with these push-ups, we're going to do what we're called a decelerated push-up. So you're going to lower down slowly for 5 counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to do 1 big push-up. Okay? Nice. So we're going to do 5 all together. Here we go, ladies. Whatever position you're in, you're going to lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, big press up. Good. And again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, big push up. Nice, ladies. 3 more. I'm going to watch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, push up. 2 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push the floor away like you're mad at it. Yes. Last one. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push up. Sit back into a little child's pose. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Now, when you practice your push-ups, this is your homework for the week. I want you to try and do it like this. So we want to work the muscle in that slow release and push. See if you can try and give me 5 push-ups every single day. In fact, until Saturday, because I'm going to see you on Saturday. So ladies, make your way up to standing. We will finish with a lovely little balance, nice and quick. So finish heels together, toes apart. And you're just going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And big exhale through the mouth. You're going to rise up onto your tiptoes. You're going to try and find your balance. Remember, you've got £50 note between your butt cheeks. Keep it there. Keeps that locked in solid. You're going to take those hands all the way up overhead. You're going to take a big inhale through the nose. And take an exhale. You're going to press down hands, shoulders, and heels. Thank you all very, very much. So 5 push-ups every single day. And I have to run, ladies. But thank you so much. And if you ever have any questions, let me know. And I hopefully will see you all Saturday, yes?